Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you joining for the Powerhouse Expert Talk webinar, brought to you by SCRMP, the Society of Clinical Research and Medical Professionals, in association with IEEE Computational Intelligence Society, Chandigarh University Student Branch. I'm Kritika, your host for the evening, and I'm truly honored to be anchoring today's session where we dive into the pathway to achieving a PhD position abroad, an aspiration many of us hold. Before we begin, let me take a quick moment to introduce you to SCRMP. The Society of Clinical Research and Medical Professionals is a registered society based in Telangana, India, dedicated to advancing clinical research and supporting healthcare professionals. Through workshops, seminars, and collaborative initiatives, SCRMP strives to enhance medical knowledge and innovation and global health outcomes. We are also joined by a wonderful collaborator today, the IEEE Computational Intelligence Society, the Chandigarh University Student Branch, a dynamic student-led chapter promoting research and innovation in neural networks, machine learning, fuzzy systems, and more. Their continuous efforts in technical education and expert webinars have empowered students across the globe. Now, coming to the heart of today's session, many students dream of pursuing a PhD abroad, but often feel overwhelmed by the process. From building a strong foundation of academics profile to securing scholarship and navigating the applications, the journey can feel like a maze. To guide us through this, we have an amazing guest with us, Mr. Debraj Mukhopadhyay, a name that resonates deeply with the excellence in public health and clinical research. Mr. Debraj is currently pursuing a PhD in molecular and translational medicine from University degli Studi di Calgary, Italy. Gold medalist in both his Masters of Public Health and Bachelor of Pharmacy, his impressive experience spans across prestigious institutions like National Center for Disease Control, Tata Memorial Center, and even collaborations with the Harvard Public Health Review. His work on miRNA profiling in lung cancer, contributions to health economic and national health policy reflect his commitment to both academic excellence with global health impact. Let's give him a virtual round of applause as we welcome him to take us through this journey and share the steps to achieve a PhD position abroad. So over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Kritika, for the warm greeting. First of all, good evening from Italy. I am wishing you the Bengali New Year because today we started 1433. This is the New Year. So before starting my presentation, I would like to say that thank you so much, SCRMP, for inviting me along with IEEE, the Society of Engineers in Chandigarh University. So I'm really thankful for hosting this webinar. And okay, so just a quick question. So is my voice audible to all? Is my voice clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I am sharing my screen. Okay. So I have to share my screen. One moment. Share. Okay. Then minimize. Then PowerPoint. Okay. Okay. So is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So I cordially request the participants if you please open your camera. So, and I want an interactive session because, you know, I also passed those days when I was in college days, and, you know, just taking a lecture, it doesn't mean anything or for certification or something else. So I cordially request from the bottom of my heart, because I am giving my effort from so many distant place. So please, I want this session interactive, and it will be very, you know, fun and, you know, as well as learning. So I cordially request, please open your camera and try to interact with me as much as possible. So thank you. So this is the topic, steps to achieve a PhD position abroad. Already my introduction has given. I am a PhD student in University of Cagliari, Department of Medical Science and Public Health, and I am in final year student. So moving further, this is the index. So you can see the index slide. And once I finish my presentation, I will be address everyone's question. So don't be, you know, here to ask me any question. because I will try to solve as much as possible your queries. Moving further, so the first slide is know your passion, because research is all about passion. Why you are doing the research? It is very important to know the why, because if you don't know the why, then it will be very problematic. Okay, so do PhD for your research passion, because it will take 3 to 4 years to complete your PhD. Depends on the university and the country. Most of the countries in Europe, especially because I am in Europe, so it will take to finish the PhD within 3 to 4 years. But in US, it usually take 5 or 6 years. So it depends on the country and the university. And regarding the amount, because as we all know, without money, it's very difficult to sustain ourselves to survive. So even in foreign country and also in India. So you will get the stipend. Why I mentioned the stipend? Because most of the students every time ask me what is the tuition fee, what is the actual stipend. So lump sum, more or less, you will get 1.2 lakh to 1.8 lakh in between this range, the monthly salary. Most of the Central European countries, public universities, to learn and gain your skill set at the same time. And it is tax free, so you don't need to worry. And the most funny part is that in European universities, you don't have to give any tuition fee. You will be mesmerized if you know my tuition fee. That is the only stamp, like revenue stamp. Okay, so you have to pay only 16 euro, that is lump sum 1600 INR, Indian rupees, to register the first year to second year enrollment. So I only paid till now 4,800 INR rupees for my enrollment. Okay, from year to year. I mean, to switch from first year to second year, in second year to third year, you have to pay only 5,400 rupees. So that is the tuition fee. Rest everything is free, and you will also get the pension beneficiary account for staying your job searching visa in 1 year in Europe. So you don't need to worry about the money, because if you have skill set, if you have knowledge, if you have the portfolio, definitely you will get the PhD position in Europe or in US or any other place in the world. Just you need to focus on your study, the skill set, and the learning. This is the most important part. Then this is a quote, like, do what you love and love what you do. Because the most important part is that you need to know yourself first. Because if you don't know yourself, you can't go through the process, because it is a very long term process, and eventually it will always, you will have to carry this process, this PhD degree, and the upgradation of your research on that particular domain throughout your life. So it is the most important part, that if you don't love the subject, if you don't passionate about the subject, it will be very difficult to sustain in this scientific area. So as I mentioned, if you do not engage in research, you will neither survive nor be able to compete with others. It's the most important factor. Second thing is that be desperate, because desperation is the, you can say, very aggressive word, but if you don't desperate for success, if you don't desperate for whatever you are trying to achieve, you can't be proceed further. So be eager, be committed to making progress in research is the most important part. I have seen so many students complain that whether it is community-based research, people not, because the most important part is that the patient information form, or like the basically on the community-based research. So you should have to be properly, engage yourself to give the proper information, and most importantly, detailed information who are whom you are include in your research. So this is the most important part. Then the most another part is that not every day will be perfect, like 100 out of 100. Some days it might be 10 out of 100. Some days beyond expectation, like you will get 110 in 100. So in these 3 or 4 years, sorry. Hello.
I guess someone turned their mic on accidentally.
Oh, okay, okay, no problem, no problem. Just stop me because it is a very interactive session. Whenever you need any question or just whimsically, you can easily ask me the question. From my side, no problem. I am a student, so I behave like a student with you all because it is not that I am in Italy or so-called I am a very popular researcher. No, I am a basic student. I'm very humble. So I will try to manage as much as possible and address your all questions. So don't be hesitant. So as I telling you that some days it will be very low, some days it will be on the sky is the limit for you. So you have to understand the things. Okay, you don't need to worry. Just you have to be sincere. You have to be punctual. So sometimes you will be dropped. Sometimes again you will just a phoenix, but it will again rise. So it depends on the situation because in these 3 or 4 years time period you will understand so many aspects of your life also. So my best suggestion is that if you are planning to focus on the PhD, so please be passionate and love the thing. It is not that I want to achieve a degree or just doctorate in front of as a prefix in front of the name. It will not help you on the longer run. Then moving further, the focus. The most important part is focus. Now, anyone can easily raise a question that why Debraj is giving the philosophical or sociology related class or the slides. The most important part is that why these slides are important because it will help you to understand why I'm trying to say because steps are very easy because if I am a robot, I can give you the step and you will easily follow and then you will get a PhD position. As simple as that. Now, why focus is important? Because without focus, you can't achieve a goal. This is the most important part. So begin by concentrating on a single research or question or area of focus. Like I am working on lung cancer. I am working on air pollution and respiratory health. So I have to be focused on the environmental health or more specifically environmental occupational health. Okay, this is my actual focus. So day by day, there are so many researchers across the globe are working. So I have to be try to understand what actual the methodology they are using, what are their proposed outcome, how much they are going through the process of the methodology as they mentioned in the research square or the preprint or anywhere as per their protocol and how they get achieve those protocol for the betterment of the population. It is all about at the end of the research, it is all about the betterment of the population. Then seek guidance from your mentor of your college or university professor to help you out define your direction. It's the most important part because your professor, your mentor are the best. You always have to believe that whoever is your mentor is the best, is the simple answer because he or she will guide you the proper like a friend philosopher and friend like a friend philosopher and guide is the most important part. So you should have to understand that like anyone want to do research in Parkinson, anyone want to do on the research on nanopharmaceuticals, so you should have to take guidance from him or her is the most important part. So try to make a bond on professional level with your mentor and the professor. Why I am saying that? Because that person is already achieved the PhD degree. So he or she will understand what are the pros and cons which they had failed during their PhD journey. Also, they will give you their life experiences. It's the most important part. Then third point is that cultivate the genuine interest in the subject and develop deeply into the nuances is the most important thing because what you propose during the grant write-up or the protocol presentation or in a short note synopsis, you maybe fall on shortcomings. So you should have to be prepared. If there is any shortcomings arise, you should have to manage. Because if you know the management, then you can easily raise yourself as much as possible. And then fourth point is once you have established the focus, you can easily start your working and you can easily achieve your goals. It's like aim and objective in the synopsis or the protocol. It's as simple as that. And finally, disease. Finally, decide the specific disease area which you wish to dedicate yourself on your particular research. This is the most important. So these are the introductory slide from my side. Now I know people are very impatient because when I was student, I was also similar like you. What what the rubbish is the speaker is saying? Why I listen to him? What are the speciality he has? Just he is sitting in Italy and giving the lecture. No, not like that. Just try to understand what I am passing to, what I am trying to pass through this webinar to you all. So this is the first slide that how to search scientific published works. Now, the most important part is that review of literatures is the most important part. So I mentioned some of the search engines or scientific databases from where you can easily get the scientific published works. You can, I hope everyone knows Google Scholar, Science Direct, PubMed, Web of Science, ResearchGate. These are the scientific published databases where we all the researcher, it doesn't matter that anyone is coming from engineering background, anyone coming from the medicine background or biotechnology background or nanopharmaceutical means pharmaceutical background, doesn't matter. What matters that how to search the published works is the most important. So you have to prepare the keywords like my area of research is occupational asbestos exposed lung cancer. So here my keywords will be lung cancer, occupational exposure, job exposure. So these are the particular keywords. With these keywords, you can easily understand that how to find the particular published articles on that very area. So this is the most important part. For this reason, you should have to sit with your mentor or the professor from your respective university, and then you can easily ask them for review, and then you try to find out what are the 5 years before works already done, what are the current works ongoing from that particular research group or the new research group. So it's the most important part. Then move further, make an Excel file. Okay, so first part is that review of literature and try to find out the published. Once you have the published work, now the question will arise in your mind: who published the work? Okay, whenever we are reading the article, you can see the title. Just imagine, close your eyes and imagine that when you are reading an article, you have the title, okay? Then you have the author name, very fine. Then you have the affiliation. And I know there are so many students like me also curious, like this kind of research is going on Belgium, this kind of research is going on California. Okay, this person is from California. Okay, so why I am targeting the affiliation and the author name, because from that particular portion is the most important to find out the PhD position. Now, once you understand once you read the author and affiliation, then you have to make an Excel file. Okay, here I mentioned my name because it's the easiest way to prepare the slide. Now, because I'm very busy because this is my final year, but I try to manage as much as possible. So I mentioned like in the Excel file, in the cells, you can mention serial number, name, current project, recent published article, country, email ID, and the research group name. So now you have to fill like number one, Debraj Mukhopadhyay, RDA project, asbestos related respiratory diseases in industrial areas. Then it is published in pulmonology article. Okay, it is the very reputed journal in European continent. Then Italy, then email ID, then research group. Okay, focus on the quality over quantity is the most important part. You always have to focus on the quality. It is the most important part. I have seen so many students used to message me that, hi Debraj sir, I emailed 250 professors, but I don't know why I'm not getting any reply. Okay. My easiest suggestion to them that, Always focus on the quality over the quantity. The first thing. Second thing, one small tips is that you should have to be focused on any particular research or disease area. Once you cross 15 or 20 years of your research journey on that particular research or disease area, then you can work on different fields associated with your particular disease or area. Okay, like interdisciplinary. So why I am suggesting focus? Because without focus, you can't get a PhD position. Is the most important part. Like I did my master thesis on the acute respiratory illness in relation with air pollution, in relation with air pollution, particulate matter. I did this project with NASA in association with Indian Council of Medical Research. Okay, so the most important part is that I target the professors who are working in this environmental and occupational health project. So I created an Excel file where 50 number of professors are there. Okay, 50 professors. I choose 50 professors. Okay, then I applied one by one. Okay, and then from one professor, I got one reply. Okay, I allow you for the interview. Let's have a meeting together. So this is the little bit a process. So you should have to be focused on the quality. Now there are so many students who are a bit little bit anxious, hesitant, or pessimistic. So how you will manage? Like if I write more professor, okay, you can write, no problem. But at the same time, it will waste your time. It will waste your time because those professors who already have the funding or rightly currently ongoing their research or conducting their research on that very particular area, you can get the information from the Google Scholar. If you open the Google Scholar, on the left you can see the recent publication like since 2025, since 2024, since 2023. So in this way you can easily filter out the proper published area. Or that another way is that you have to go that particular professor's homepage of the university. In the university homepage, they usually mention that I am working on this particular project. In my further slides, I will show you how to approach a professor and how to look the professor's profile. Okay, going to the further. Okay, this is the most important thing, email crafting, the most important part. Okay, so tailoring your email is one of the most important part because I have seen so many students. That's why I put my email, my approach to Professor Sarah Demetis, madam, how I approached her for the PhD position. Okay, because usually when you are approaching any senior professor or the reputed scientist in this particular field, you should have to be careful what you are saying. Most importantly, the salutation, because you are addressing another cultural people, the most important part, foreign people. So similarly, you should have to take support from your mentor, also from your professor, the most important part, because they have the experience and the knowledge than you, better than you. So take support from your mentor or the professor and then discuss with him or her and then approach. Is the most easiest way how to approach, because if you look my email there in this position, I mentioned in the email subject PhD applicant, research interest in environmental occupational health, air pollution and respiratory diseases. Okay, I did this email 3rd July 2022 in the afternoon, 12 o'clock. I mean 12:15, 12:17. Because I still remember I was very upset because I already emailed 20 professors in my list, but I couldn't get any reply. She is my 21st serial number 21st professor whom I tried to apply. Uh, then I applied the email. I emailed Professor Sarah. You can see after the salutation, I mentioned about myself. Okay, And then on the last line, most important, I would like to, if you are accepting doctoral students under your supervision in the coming fall. Then I mention about my what I did in my master's and my bachelor's. If you see that I mentioned my master thesis, like air quality monitoring effect of particulate air pollution on respiratory health in the population of Raiganj, West Bengal, India. Okay, and same time I also mentioned my another project which is related to public health because that time was post COVID-19 period. Okay, then I also mentioned my some curriculum activities, poster and oral presentation, along with the scientific publication. I have seen a lot of students ask me that, sir, is it necessary to have publication? It is not a nowhere is mentioned that if you don't have the publication but have the skill set, you can easily select it on that particular position. So it is also dependent on the place, on the necessity from that particular professor's mindset. So it is not in our hand. If you have publication, you have bonus. If you don't have publication, but you can manage with your skill set. That look, because in my masters I gained these experiences because I know most of the students who are from pharmaceutical background or biotechnology or microbiology background, their results eventually delayed because of the laboratory. There are so many aspects because I did my graduation in pharmacy, so I know that very well. The laboratory animal experimental model, the lab skill set, microRNA, DNA. So it takes eventually more time. I don't know about more about engineering aspect, but on my field related to paramedic and the biotechnology, microbiological field, I easily say that the results usually come with a delayed long period. So you can say that you already gained this skill set. And if you want to know more about my research, I also show my master thesis in presentation on our meeting discussion. You can easily manage this way. Okay, don't be disappointed like, sir, I don't have publication. How I have seen even the students who are get selected on the top ranked university in US and Europe without any publication because he or she has the skill set. Okay, so don't be disappointed. Now, third part is that the Professor Sarah's work. That, like one example, Kritika, I think if I'm not wrong, Kritika was telling about myself. I was smiling. Wow, people are reading about me. People are knowing about myself. People used to send the LinkedIn connection or the Facebook WhatsApp message. I really, people trying to connect with me. Anyone in this world, when they are getting recognized by other people, are very happy. Now, it is true. So, the most important part, you should have to give the proper information in short paragraph that you already know about the professor whom you are targeting to do your PhD, like her current project, her most famous project. How can you know which his or her famous project, maybe with the citation, maybe with the news featurement, like her research or his research already featured on the internet, on the newspaper, on the research blog, and then also the citation. So you can easily track. This is the another way to track the particular professor's work so that he or she will understood that you read her or read him very densely or with the depth. Okay, so this is the another way. Now the last part is that if your concluding part, like you already attached your three things: curriculum vitae, letter of motivation, and the letter of recommendation. Now most of the students usually ask, I only attached the CV and I got selected. No problem. Some of the students also asked me also put a question, big question, that if you attach more attachment in your email, then the emails on that particular official ID will not be delivered. This is a serious issue. So how you will manage? You will create only single one PDF file with the index number. Okay, and then you will mention that page 1 to your CV, then your motivation, 3 4 your motivation. Okay, then 5 6 7, these are the three letter of recommendation. like a small report. So you can also craft your attachment with all the documents in single email. This is the one way. Another way, you can easily send the curriculum vitae. On my time, no one is there to guide me because uh, the thing is that no one is there to guide me because on my time there's a post-COVID period. Okay, so people are very shocked, panicked on that particular area, but at the same time, very in my inner mind, I cherished because blessing in disguise, COVID-19 enhanced the public health requirement in all over the world. Okay, because public health issue is COVID-19, that is the infectious disease. Okay, so I know I am very saddened by the death of the people, but at the same time, the public health professionals requirement is enhanced because of the COVID. I know this statement is very controversial, but even in my university also, everyone is looking for the public health professionals, even all over the Delhi. So, blessing in disguise, I might say the actual phrase that particular moment. So, in this way, you can easily approach the PhD or the internship position in the different labs. I know there are so many students last time asked how we approach the professor or the scientific personnel in the different labs in India. So you can also do the same thing. You just have to emulate, and in a nowadays the AI, ChatGPT also there to craft your or improve your language. But I must say, after taking the help from ChatGPT, try to humanize the sentences because it is more important. Because nowadays, in my university, also in different big institute in India, also India too, that people easily understand that whether the student the email is written by the student or by the AI. So be careful because you always have to think that people are smarter than you. Then only you would rise in your field. Is the most important part. Moving further, craft your CV because always remember try to craft your CV in 2 pages. The most important part. Don't elongate your CV more than 2 pages is the most important part. Regarding the resume, you should have to tailor your resume in 1 page. I shared one example with you all for your reference. You can easily take this reference, or there are so many templates available in LinkedIn or anywhere. I'm not saying that my CV is the best, but it is the best in aspect to template. Okay, so you can easily take the template guidance from my reference. Always look the current CV templates. Then only nowadays it is a very genuine term is ATS score. The most important part is that regarding your CV or resume, I still believe that professors, genuine professors in all over the Europe, I might say the European situation, always try to look the CV or resume without ATS score is the most important part. They try to look your experience as well as your skill set. Then they look your publication because they put the publication last. Because if you are coming under her or his supervision, he or she will help you to get published in a very high impact journal. Okay, so don't be worried. This is one example. Even still now I am using the CV or resume like that. So if you want, you can easily tailor your CV like this way. I already shared my PPT in a PDF format, also in PowerPoint format with Mozirul and the Mustaq, the two guys. You can easily ask them for the PDF or PPT. Okay, then moving further, the most important part is that motivational letter or the personal statement or the letter of motivation. Most of the cases, these terms are similar. Most of the, not with the cover letter. Don't mix the motivational letter with the cover letter is the most contrasting part. Okay, now regarding the motivational letter, why I mentioned the cover letter, because there are so many students ask, sir, what is the difference between letter of motivation? What is the difference between statement of purpose. What is the difference between কি বলে letter of motivation? So you have to understand the necessity. Okay, once you understand the necessity, you can easily grab. I mentioned the cover letter because there are so many students every day and night message me that please help me to give me the actual definition of the cover letter, letter of motivation, personal statement. So I mentioned cover letter because you can easily get the letter of statement or personal motivation letter in the website, or there are so many templates available in LinkedIn. But so from my side, I mentioned this cover letter for your help, just for your help. Once you have these three documents or four documents, then you can apply to the professor. Okay, I already told that how to find out the professor. Now my another slide is that PhD funding. I have seen so many students constantly asking me how PhD will be funded. It's a very important part because without money, you can't persist your dreams especially in abroad. It's a very important part. If you ask me how many hours you work in my hospital or the university, I usually work only 5 to 6 hours. But to uplift my dreams, my personal skill set, I used to work near about 12 hours, near about. But it is not connected with my university or the hospital. It is for my development, for my personal upliftment. It's the most important part. I have seen a lot of my friends who are doing PhD in a reputed institute in India. They used to work 18 hours, 20 hours for the university. But in abroad is the most simplest way that no one will ask you after your working hour what you are doing. The most important part. That's why I force each and everyone to learn and gain your skill set from abroad and utilize those in India if you want. Okay, if you want. So types of PhD funding. Types of PhD funding, mostly three types: industry oriented, principal investigator initiated project or grant, then the university funding. These are the three ways I specifically mentioned because like Novartis or the IBM or the Microsoft wants to do a project, okay, they need academic personnel. So professor, okay, then the students. In this way, you will get funding from the Microsoft or the Novartis or the Johnson and Johnson. Okay, then another type is principal investigator initiated project or grant. Suppose I am a principal investigator. I want to do a project in Delhi on the lung health along with the respiratory health. So I will write a grant to the grant authorities. There are so many grant authorities. Just one example, Horizon Europe. So from there, you can easily approach for the grant for your PhD protocol, or you can say the project protocol with the proper documentation. So this is the way that everything is depend on me. So I will choose or I will recruit the student. Suppose one example, I recruit Mustaq. I have seen his work, his tremendous energy, his tremendous, management capacity. And at the same time, I choose Mojib, okay, for the postdoc. So if I have the capacity to take one PhD and one postdoc with that very grant for the working personnel, I can easily approach. Now you will ask, what about the university registration? Okay, if I am okay, okay. So if I am a professor connected with the university, definitely it will be very easy. Otherwise, okay, no problem. So the thing is that you should have to apply either industry oriented or principal investigator initiated grant or the university funding. There are three ways. Okay, so either on the principal investigator initiated fund, only one person is the boss. Industry oriented, maybe 2 or 3. The funding related aspects will be handled by the industry. The academic related aspect will be handled by your professor. So you can easily regarding the industry oriented PhD program are very genuine, very fascinating, because at the same time you have a connection with the academic along with the industry oriented person. Okay, in my opinion. Okay, controversy I don't allow, but in my opinion, I said it. Last, university funding. Like if any university has the funding, they usually recruit the PhD student along with the PhD fund of the university, obviously national fellowship, because most of the European universities are public. So from that way, anyone can easily get through the university funding with the proper approach professor. That's why now the most curious question is that, then sir, why I will email the professor? Now, professor is the most important part in the bullseye. Okay, he or she is connected with each other. Like if any industry person poking him or her that, look, I have a funding, you have the knowledge, recruit 1 or 2 PhD and 1 postdoc in your guidance. I will fund you, and the university will give you the full credit to progress his or her academic journey as PhD. That is the one way. Second thing is that principal investigator, obviously he or she will be professor, right? Then you have to approach him or her with the email, because it's a letter. Like a boyfriend, don't take me wrong. A boy is approaching a girl. He used to write a letter. Okay. So he should have to write about himself in a proper way so that he can impress the professor like the lady whom try to impress. No? Okay. The third thing is that university funding. University usually elect the professor or give the fund to the professor of their particular research. There are so many aspects connected with each other. So in this way, with the university easily say the professor, look, Professor Sarah, right now I am recruiting you to recruit a new PhD student in your particular area. Or this year, no one has requested for the PhD position in the foreign category. So you can recruit a student. Let's do a proper interview round, proper examination round with the CV, with the reference, with the so many factors. So in this way, the professor is the most important factor as the bullseye. So you should have to approach, okay, to the professor first. Then he or she will advocacy your propaganda or your application to that particular necessity area, necessary person is the most important part. Then moving further, grant writer. Now, there are so many professors who doesn't have fund, either from the university or from themselves or from the industry. So how they will manage? Now, he or she is interested in you. He or she understand your potency, your research passion. Now, he or she will ask you to write a grant. Okay, I already wrote a grant from the Coventry University. For the slide, I will tell. So more or less, the grant index usually look like this: the title, the introduction, need of the research or the research question, aim and objective, methodology. The methodology is the most important part, because the best researcher in that particular area usually look your methodology is the most, how you are crafting your method, how you are crafting your statistical analysis, how you are getting the ethical approval, how you are getting the data inclusion, the exclusion and inclusion criteria, how you are managing the job history. There are so many aspects. So the best person in the world on that particular research area usually directly visit the methodology section, how you are crafting your proper method, because without method you can't proceed. Then the expected outcome. These are the two main portion, okay, in your grant. Once grant write-up means a proper, in a short form, synopsis write-up, because synopsis is small. how you are going to do your master's thesis. Then in PhD, it is called protocol. And then in the professor level, it is called grant. So don't mix the things because it is more or less added things. Okay, like in an ice cream, you ask, come on, give me strawberry, give me vanilla, give me chocolate, all together. It's all about the grant. Okay, so don't be hesitate, don't be disappointed, be motivated always. If you don't understand anything, you can ask your mentor, your professor. You blindly believe. Your belief is one of the most important part in PhD or in a research. Okay, you have to believe. If you don't believe that your research will progress, you will get the proposed outcome. You will get through your hypothesis. You can't proceed. The most important part. Then letter of support. So the most important part, that is letter of support. If you look, we applied for old foundation, United Kingdom. Coventry University told me that Coventry University will waive off the tuition fee because in United Kingdom, 5 countries, I think, Northern Ireland, Southern Ireland, Wales, Scotland, and Britain. Five, usually on that particular domain, Great Britain, they ask the students for the tuition fee. Okay, tuition fee, you have to pay the tuition fee from your stipend. On that time, no one has there to guide me. So I applied Professor Dr. Om Prakash Kurmi. You can see that Professor Dr. Om Prakash Kurmi is associate professor in Coventry University. Previously, he worked with Oxford University. Okay, so I approached him. He is from basically Kathmandu, Nepal. He understands even Hindi. I saw him from a conference because in my masters, I used to do a lot of COVID-19 related work in the Ministry of Nirmal Bhavan and along with the Pharmacopoeia Commission. So for this reason, I know this person because this person is the advisor. Om Prakash Kurmi is the advisor of that particular Congress. So I requested him that, look, you are in the Coventry University. I am doing the research in this particular domain, air quality monitoring along with the acute respiratory illness in my hometown. So I am very interested to do a PhD under your supervision. And then he said, okay, fine, let's have a discussion in the dinner. And then he told me he doesn't have funding, but he will support me to craft a draft for the grant. Then we will all together. Then he mentioned everything. If you read out the letter, look, I don't have any insecurity. I shared the actual letter, actual everything with you all because it will help you to understand how the things will move forward. In India, I have seen that students usually face the shortcoming with the information because those who are succeeded, like me, sitting in different European universities or in US universities, they are not ready to support the students. Is the most, scariest part what I feel because if you support a student, he or she will be your future reference, future connection. This is the most important part because people don't believe in connection. People just believe the betterment of themselves is the most important. I understand that there is nothing wrong, but the nowadays, if you have connection, then only you proceed. You are able to proceed. What I understand right now. So Professor Om tried to draft a grant on this particular area. Okay, if you want, I can share the grant with you all through Mustaq and Mojidul. Okay, no problem. I will share. I don't have any insecurity with anything. So I will share the grant and then you can see the letter of support. Everything is mentioned because I need the stipend from that particular old foundation, and else everything will be supported from the Coventry University along with Professor Dr. Om Prakash Kurmi. Okay. Move further, the budget. Okay, there are so many students ask me in the email or in the LinkedIn that, sir, how do we prepare a budget? How do we prepare a cost? How do we support? So you can see here that this is the actual, budget or the cost which was held by Professor Dr. Om Prakash Kurmi to manage my research expenditure cost because we are approaching. Okay, now moving further, the most important at the same time significant thing is that recommendation letter. Now you can see on left is the ICMR. Okay, in the middle you can see St. Xavier's University in Calcutta. You can see National Center for Disease Control. Now, in my eyes or anyone's eye, usually get easily understand or get very terrified because oh, Debraj is very lucky. He got the references or the recommendation letter from ICMR, St. Xavier's College, and NCDC. All three are connected, the highest reputed institute in India. Now, no one is lucky. The most important part is that how you make your luck in the favorable condition in purpose of the work is the most important part. So I proposed, as I mentioned, that during COVID, I worked so much with the NCDC here. Okay, from NCDC, I got a 2 days workshop in this particular area, Indian Council of Medical Research. Okay, there I saw that the director, Dr. Arun Kumar Sharma, is trying to work this particular research with NASA and WHO in the US. I approached him because during my public health journey, I initiated or I enhanced my passion and love with the environmental occupational health. Because what I say is the most important, listen carefully. Prevention is better than cure. Most of the foreign people follow that rule. We don't follow this rule. What we understand in Hindi, if I cross my English language, एक ही तो जीवन है. अभी खा लेते हैं, बाद में हॉस्पिटल में जाके दवाई मवाई खा लेंगे, ठीक हो जाएंगे. This is the actual mindset of Indian people or the most lower middle income countries people. I am also thinking like that, but during my public health days, with the support from my mentors, Professor Swaminathan sir, Professor Jessila ma'am, Professor Sheetal ma'am, Professor Harvinder Popli ma'am, they initiated me that look, you took the charge of the Department of Public Health. Now you have to do the best, and that enhances me to work in environmental and occupational health. If you look in India, very low amount of people, low amount of researcher who are lesser amount of researcher who are working in this particular area, because most of the researcher used to do their research on the NCD, on the NCD means non-communicable disease or in the communicable disease. Now, why I'm saying that? Because if you work without looking the clock, okay, later life, your clock will take care of you. You don't need to do overwork because now you're a student. Just think like that. If you are working so hard, if you're trying to clearing your principle on the theoretical aspect, then you approach your professor, your university professor or the college professor. Look, you already worked on this particular area. I want to work in this particular area. I am very interested to work. Please support me, sir. Please support me, madam. I am 200% sure if you show the eagerness, if you are very honest and with the innocence, you can approach anyone. The person usually understand you. The person will give you the proper dedication to support your research. This happened with me. That's why I still believe the way. Then from one place to another place, I did my internship in my Master of Public Health in NCDC, National Center for Disease Control. In US, it is CDC, Center for Disease Control. From that, I got a link with Indian Council of Medical Research, and with working with that, I got a reference to do something in my state, West Bengal, from where I am from, to do a COVID-19 survey, because in this way, I was associated on 2 projects in the same time during my master's. So recommendation letter, why important? Now I am saying you. Now how you will get the recommendation letter? Then so many students ask me, you have to work. Either it will be internship, either it will be your master's project or the bachelor project or any project your professor is associated or conducting the research. This is the simplest way. Once you have done, then you will ask your professor with politeness that, look, professor, I gained some experiences, some learning. Will you please support me to write a recommendation letter so that I can apply on that particular place? Definitely he or she will support you. Another thing is that more significant way is that once you are working on a project, you request your supervisor or the college professor that please give my name in your paper. Now, the give my name in your paper. Now, there are two chocolate, one is big, one is small. No one is looking in the small. Everyone is looking on the big. This is a human psychology. No, like we are two brothers in my home. If there is a big chocolate, if it is distributed among me and my brother, two chocolate, I always look on the big. He also do the same. This is a human psychology. No, this is a human psychology. So you should have to think very, here I say what, wisely, because if you are not demanding, if you are happy that I am getting a chocolate, no problem, one day I will get the bigger chocolate. Okay, you have to think like that. Most of the students have aiming either first author or second author or the corresponding author. Even still now, if you ask me, I am still associating or collaborating with so many countries, so many researchers, just supporting their review of literature or making the figure or making the table just for an authorship position, because I know the communication, the contacts, the source is the most important part. So you should have to understand that don't be demanding. Love the research with passion. Okay. Then you have to gain the experiences with the published scientific way. Then once you gain that experiences, you become independent and then you can run your own research or you can claim your authorship position. The most important part. Don't waste your time. Don't think or think like a childish manner that I am not getting first author, I am not second author, I am worried, I am disappointed. No, try to give your expertise in as per your best to the particular project. Tell your professor, from my side I am fine, I am open to any position, sir. Please just give me one position in your paper. I am ready to do whatever you say. Your approach should be like that. Then only the professor will understand that you don't have the greed. You are very honest, you love the subject, you love your research. This is the most important part. In this way you can easily earn this kind of big recommendation letter from India. And that is why on the further slide I will show you that in the recommendation letter sector, every interview panel you have 10 marks. I got 10 out of 10. This is the reason. This is the actual reason why I got 10 out of 10. Because anyone can see the Government of India logo. You can see then the ICMR and the St. Xavier's College. Anyone can, even in India, if I approach, they can take me that look, he already did this kind of research, this kind of gained experiences. And this is why I am sitting in front of you and giving the lecture. This is the reason. So be chasey, not the choosy. Don't choose, because I am very coming from very humble and simple background. Beggars are not the choosers. Once you are in a position, then you can ask, obviously with humbleness, I did this much work. Will you please give me second author or third author? That is the actual humbleness, the statement to the professor. Because for him or her, you are achieving your PhD degree. For him or her, you are achieving your goals, your life. So always respect your professor. It's the most important part. Try to gain as much as knowledge from him or her. Then only you will get the recommendation letter, even for the internship or for the PhD. Then medium of instruction letter. I have seen there are a lot of students ask me, sir, which exam I have to give for the English proficiency. As IELTS, TOEFL, I didn't do any exam of English proficiency. I created these two letters. If you look, I mentioned that in the this paragraph usually not written by the students. I include this paragraph in the both the papers that I know Mr. Debraj Mukhopadhyay from how many years, okay? And I am ensuring that he did not face any problem or issues while reading, writing, or communicating in English throughout the study during his program. His communication skills are excellent. I have seen a lot of medium of instruction letter from the reputed university, even from IIT, only one line. The course was in English language. His name is this. This is to certify that Mr. Mojirul had passed from our institute. His medium of instruction letter was in English. There is no value. You should have to be clear conversation. Okay, there are so many students who are coming from very big institute. They would say rather that, look, why I write this? Because in foreign, you don't know whatever is necessary or whatever is required. You don't know. Even on that time, I don't know. So I read so many media of instruction later in the available in the internet, and then I craft this kind of letter, and then I get signature from the director or from the VC or from my particular respective university. This is the reason. So be intellectual and prepare your own medium of instruction letter from this template. Okay, don't be disappointed. You can easily get through those English proficiency certificate test. Now, after arriving here, I gave my English proficiency exam on 14th of February 2023, Valentine's Day. That's why I remember the day, because everyone is going to the bar to enjoy the cafeteria, and I was going to give my exam. So usually they ask me about myself, because this is the normal university test, and they will give you the C1 certificate or C2 certificate from the university in the European continent mostly, because that certificate will give you the enhancement or the proven hallmark that you understand English, so you can write a research paper. That is the main motto of that conducting English test. So I arrived here in Italy on 19th of January 2023, and 14th of February they took my English proficiency test, and I was through on the English proficiency. I got C1 certification from the university, and you will get one credit for that particular aspect. Now, this is my professor, Professor Sarah. She's very beautiful, and the smile is even more beautiful than her angle. So I am facing that still now, but she is very supportive. For her, I am here, thankful to God and thankful to her. Still now, she is supporting me in each and every aspect, and even in my other projects also. So how to search? Like, look, this is my systematic review paper. Okay, review paper. Usually, this is a very crisp content, like those research group are publishing the systematic review or the meta-analysis. They have the actual longitudinal project. Okay, is the basic crisp term. Then if you look here in the author name, you can see D. Mukhopadhyay, then the professor's name usually. Usually the last name on the paper is a boss in a genuine language, is the guide or co-guide. Okay, mostly. Once you understand, you open a systematic review paper in the Google Scholar or the PubMed or the ResearchGate. There, on the last, or sometimes the clinical trial or the very particular project, mostly the professors usually the first author. So here you have to target 2%. We usually remember in the examination the first one and the last one. Even we remember the last one, like Debraj got the last position or Debraj got the first position, but you remember the last. I mean, Mojirul got the first position and I got the last position. So you will remember me, because usually you remember who got last. Or in a human psychology, no. So please try to understand that first author usually the student, PhD student or master student. Last author usually the professor, who is the boss of that particular project. Okay, you understand the situation. Now, 90% of time, it is the method. 10%, sometimes the professor has the project, no student is working under him or her. So he or she will be the first author. So you have to target the corresponding author with the last along with the first author. Now you will ask, maybe Sarah, Professor Sarah's name will be second and she is the second author. So you have to look three things all together. First author, last author, and the corresponding author. You have to search about him or her going into the Google, like Debraj Mukhopadhyay. Okay, this is a PhD student. Cut. Sarah Dimatis. Oh wow, she is actual professor over there. But at the same time, she is associated with honorary lecturer in Imperial College London. She has two profile. It is a very interesting thing. No, now you also have to read the bio sketch. Okay, if you look on this particular bio sketch, you can see I am an associate professor, occupational environment. I did this. Okay, from here I know that she is also associated with Imperial College London. Wow, she has a tremendous connection all over the world, especially in Europe. Okay, then from here I understand if you look how many projects, how many works she here the RDI is mentioned. That means she is associated with some project. Okay, now you will have to approach her that look, I also want to do a PhD under your supervision. Now, people will ask me, why you already taken the PhD student, then why I will ask? Now, there's a very basic question. The answer is that means he has already a grant. Okay, he has the PhD student, but at the same time, he is trying to research. He is trying to do a research on that particular project. For enhancement of that particular project, he might or she might take a grant or the industry support or the university support on another field. So she is currently associated with so many books. You have to take that advantage. This is the only way how you find out the professor from first author, last author, and the corresponding author. Then switching to university profile, and from university profile you have to find out her whole curriculum available in the internet, and then you have to look out the ongoing project or the past project. If it is ongoing project, that means already a PhD student is doing the research under her supervision, but it doesn't mean that she hasn't have a PhD position furthermore or any postdoc position. She is interested to do the research. She is willing to do the research. Okay, she might be a big research. She has might be a big research group. In this way, she will help you to even. I have one email from Professor Alexandra Schneider that you can, Debraj, since 2 weeks you are emailing me. I am very sorry to say you know I don't have funding, but I am giving you three professors' name whom you can apply. Professor Barbara Hoffman, Professor Zoran Anderson Jovanovic, and Professor Om Prakash Kurmi. You can get your PhD or any grant application through them. Just approach and tell my name. In this way also I approached my way. So you don't know how, because in Europe, most of the Horizon Europe or any environmental occupational or any case, there is a very big research groups. They are connected with each other. The connection is very strong. They believe each other. Most of the European professors usually publish one or two research paper or review paper in one single year. Most of the cases, because they believe on the quality. I know my statement is controversial with the US professor because in my eyes, they're very fast. But European people, European mindset is they believe the quality. Slow but steady always wins the race. This is what I am seeing there. So you be specific with the professor, be specific with the email ID, with the progress of the researcher, of the scientist. Then only way you can easily track and approach. Okay, moving further, my journey, you can see I started from NRS Medical College, Nilratan Sarkar Medical College Hospital with Professor Dr. Anindo Banerjee sir. Then I did a small project on the hepatoprotective activity of Andrographis paniculata and Schweitzer in ethanol-induced albino rat in respect to metadoxin. And this is the Soviet University. I went there in Soviet University. I think it is where it is. It is near about Mirat, Soviet University Mirat. From Dehradun, I went and I presented my first poster presentation, and I was also first position holder in my presentation. This is the animal experimental room. You can see this is Jenny, uh, the rabbit of the Nilratan Sarkar Medical College Hospital. This is the IPCA laboratories in Selagui, in near about Dehradun, the North India part. I was there as a quality control trainee, and this is the another industrial visit. So you can see Center of Aromatic Plants at Dehradun, and also I worked as a quality control trainee in IPCA laboratories. Then you can see I also associated with Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission. I also visited 7 days of workshop there at Adverse Drug Reaction Monitoring Center in Rohtak, and I presented a presentation what I understood actual the adverse drug reaction during my PFARM days in the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, and you can see this is Dr. V. Kaliselvan sir, a very well-known personality in all over the India in terms of pharmacovigilance, clinical research, and this is Dr. Naresh Sharma sir, the Indian Pharmaceutical Association Delhi chapter, the chairperson, I think. And I also during my bachelor, I also get rewarded so many awards. I only mentioned these particular cases because you have to be very busy and try to contribute as much as possible along with the academic journey is the most important part. As a very rural village part where in the community pharmacy, me and my friends usually visit. This is Professor Dr. Anju Rawat ma'am, is this lady, and trying to give the prescription or something else. So what I'm trying to convey that be busy, and this is my master. During my masters, I visited Nirman Bhavan. This is Love Agarwal, the deputy bureaucrat on that particular time during the COVID. With the impact team, this is the impact week. We generated a particular bioenzyme solution, which is coming from the vegetable peel, which is the substitute for the so-called Dettol or the different sanitization process during the COVID. So that prototype was also selected as the first position in the German innovator. And we are still working on that with the review and research part. And right now I am in Italy. So as much as possible, I am giving support on that particular project also. And this is the transport ministry. Now you can see that I also invested my time on the field data collection on the immunoglobulin G, immunoglobulin E during the COVID period among the healthcare professional in all over Delhi. So I was there also connected. This is my mentor, also our dean on that time, Professor Dr. Harvinder Popli ma'am. And this is the party of the impact week with respected Professor Harvinder Popli. So these are my journey. You can see that during my Delhi days, I also connected with different NGOs, Rotary, is another NGO, WWE. I also connected with so many things as much as possible with my level. Wherever I got opportunity, I jumped because in this way, your references, your connection will build up. People will see that you are working, and then they invest their time in you. Then there's the most important part that you can see. This is the someone may ask that why you are sharing your score, like you tried to pop up. No, I am giving this because this is a score sheet. Okay, this is a score sheet how the actual evaluation through University of Cagliari was conducted for the PhD position. If you look, I have the highest score, Debraj, I have the 92 out of 100 with the actual. So usually you have to fill the form with the CV, then you have to send the recommendation letter, then you have to wait for your marks, and then they took the interview. And also there is an online test, okay, from the grant committee through which your research cost will be beared. Like for me, it is Government of Italia. And then second thing is that for your stipend, this mark sheet is usually evaluated for your scoring. So still now it is a record because I only crossed till now the 90 marks. So for me, being a Bengali and from the Bengali medium school board, I am very honored to present my country in this particular area, in this country to do my research. So I was very nostalgic and emotional also when I got this news that I got selected the first position on the admission test. So okay, then you can see that I started from there, working in the animal experimental lab, in the sitting on the bench, and now I am standing in front of the Colosseum and also my Cagliari city. Then this is the PhD grant application and also the letter of selection that I got my research funding from the RDA project. This is Dr. Robert Tokerki sir. This is my supervisor, Professor Dr. Sarah Dimatis, and you can see my identity card that I am associated with project assistant as project assistant with RDA project. This is my university campus. So uh, I started, and there are so many ups and downs I have faced in my personal life and professional life, but I always hold my breath, okay, and I always be optimistic during my journey. So, last but not the least, during my completion during my master's and also after completion my master of public health from Delhi Pharmaceutical Science and Research University, I applied these 5 universities in the time period of 19 months. But at the same time, I was connected with Skyward Analytics. I'm working as a health economics professional, just enhancing my skill on the systematic review, meta-analysis, and the statistical part. Too, because I know wherever I go, I need to do in my first year the systematic review and meta-analysis. So for that reason, that was my skill. During that 19 months, I didn't have any publication. But after 19 months, when I arrived here, within 6 months, I got my publication in pulmonology. The best impact factor in the respiratory health related journal. There's a fourth journal: chest, European Respiratory Review, European Respiratory Journal, and the pulmonology. Usually respiratory health scientists follow these four journals paper mostly in all over the world. So I got one within this lifespan, even in the research span. So these are the professors who are working worldwide in this particular area on environmental and occupational health. First, I was tried to Coventry University, was rejected. Then I tried University of Queensland, Australia, in association with IIT Delhi, with joint PhD. Professor Shabnik there, Nick Osborne. Then I tried my luck in University of Washington, but I was selected. But the problem is that the project was with the heat effect on the US population. Now, what I understood on during my time that my mathematical skill is, very, terrified. Okay, very, because my statistical skill during that time was not proper. So I feared to go there. I really feared to go there. At the same time, I got some offered from the Hungary, Budapest, but the stipend amount was very nominal. So the stipend amount, these three universities are very high. So I, usually when you have option, you always look the bigger chocolate. No, from my side, what I understood that if I go in US, I will face the situation like now, what we used to hear in the news channel after electing of the Trump. So the research fund, the research grant, everything is based on the GDP of that particular area, that particular country. So be careful on that. If you are willing to go in US, all the best, but be careful. My only suggestion is that no country is better, no country is best. It is all about the timing, it is all about the situation from the both end, from your end or also that country's end or the supervisor or the grant end. So be careful on that. And I got my PhD position in Italy and I selected this. So I am doing right now. This November, I will submit my thesis, and by February 2026, I will be graduated from University of Delhi. So thank you so much. Last but not the least, big thank you for listening to me, listening with patience. And also you can watch this YouTube video. Recently, one of my friend, philosopher guide, Mr. 𝗞𝗲𝘀 visited my university. He requested me to do a podcast with him. So you can watch this kind of video, like how to approach a professor or something else, the PhD in Italy, the stipend, the taxation, the pension scheme, the so-called Italian PhD degree. You can easily get through because that video even I think is in Hindi. So those who has fear, those who understand the English but hesitate to speak in English, no problem. I was faced the same situation. Don't worry. Every time in the hostel or even now, I always stand and try to speak with myself, speak with my eye coordination. Because if you don't look with the eye coordination, how you look, how you smile, how you present yourself, you will not be confident. Because on the opposite side, he or she is sitting in front of the computer. He or she doesn't know you. He or she doesn't understand your panic situation or overwhelming situation. So be moderate and try to do your best as much as possible. This is my cordial suggestion. It is not impossible because in impossible word I am possible. If you break the word I am possible. So all the best to you guys. Thank you so much for your patience and time. Now I am open to discuss with you the question. If you have any question, please, I will try to address as much as possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Debraj, for that insightful and practical session. I'm sure, like, along with me, our audience has also gained immense clarity and motivation from your journey. And thank you so much for your guidance. So we have now opened the floor for Q&A session, and I would request the audience to please feel free to drop the questions and utilize this opportunity well.
Don't be hesitate. I am a student like you. You can ask me anything. Okay. Don't think that if I ask in front of everyone on the next day morning, people will make fun of me. No, don't think that. First, they will laugh at you, then they will walk with you, and then applaud you. Just remember this proverb.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Bharat this side. Sir, as you throughout the session you have discussed regarding applying to various universities, and according to this, we should be from a strong background in our masters and bachelors. But what if we don't have a strong college or university at our back to give us the recommendation letters and cover letters? What can we have the option for this, sir?
Okay. So the thing is that um, in Hindi proverb there is a sentence जे जो कुछ नहीं करते हैं वो कमाल करते हैं. Just remember the thing. Okay. Now you are saying that strong recommendation letter. No, all the recommendation letter are strong. If you are giving your recommendation letter to abroad from your university, that is also strong because you have to work on that particular research area. Then you have to make everything relevant to the particular research area of that particular professor. Then only it will be strong. It doesn't matter that you are working in NCDC, you are ICMR. I am very fortunate, even I am very lucky that I got my recommendation letter from the heavyweight universities. Even I can see there are so many students who are studying with me. They are coming from very nominal background, very humble background. No university or professors are higher or lower in terms of recommendation. Your work with that particular professor enhance your research skill set along with the research propaganda. Now, second thing is that your bachelor and masters. Now, if I say you honestly, when I was doing my bachelor and masters, I'm the only person who is connected with research. The reason behind is that because in my family, I have seen liver cancer patient, that is my dad, non-alcoholic cirrhosis, and breast cancer patient, my mom. So I have gone through that particular cancer related situation in my personal life, which triggers me as a catalyst that Debraj, you have to do some research for the betterment of the population. So from after completing my 12th education, I joined the B Farm. Then slowly, silently, I was like an ordinary student. Then I tried to gain the experiences from the internship. Then slowly, I tried to prepare the internship report as a publication. Then I approached the professor to give me recommendation letter. That is the only way. Never think that Devraj is very lucky. He got the recommendation from the WHO, from the NASA, so-called institute. No, you have to be optimistic. No one is bad or good. It is all about the timing. It is all about the situation. Okay. Try to do the work, the report in a published way. Try, okay, publication is not important, but at the same time, the skill set. Because my brother is studying artificial intelligence and cyber security. I know his future. I understand the future of his. He is just first year student. From first year, he started writing the paper. Even I was shocked. I was mesmerized. My mom is constantly asking me, look, my little boy has also started the publication related work even in first year. So it is the advancement. So never think that bigger name, bigger institute. Okay, bigger name, bigger institute has the knowledge that, okay, he's from IIT. Oh, wow. He's from AIMS. Oh, wow. He's from Delhi University. Wow. But at the same time, देखो, अगर हिंदी में बोला जाए कि दोनों तरीके से काटता है, जब काटना होता है चीजों को दोनों तरीके से काटता है, या तो ये धार से काटता है या तो ये भार से काटता है। ठीक है, अगर मैं सीधा सीधा बोलूं, अगर जो चीज बहुत नुकीला है उससे फटाफट कट जाएगा, जो आईआईटी, आईआईएम या आईआईएससी बड़े बड़े इंस्टीट्यूट का है। दूसरा क्या है, आपका इंटर्नशिप, आपका स्किल सेट, आपका बहुत जगह पे काम, आपका प्रोजेक्ट, वो भारी हो गया ना चीजें, उससे भी तो कटेगा। तो दोनों तरीके से चीजें करता है। सो यू शुड हैव टू बी थिंक लाइक दैट। नेवर थिंक दैट हायर यूनिवर्सिटी रिकमेंडेशन विल वर्क, ऑल द रिकमेंडेशन विल वर्क। It is all about you, how you tailor or draft or craft your experiences in that proper particular area. I hope I give you proper answer. What?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, don't be disappointed. Everything will be fine. Okay, just love your passion. Because I am from a very rural background. If I am here, you are gaining my experiences. You are watching my templates. I already shared the PDF file with you all. Then you have your brain, the internet available templates along with my templates. Accumulate it like a hodgepodge and then test it with ghee or butter. It's like that.
Sir, Sanjana has asked the question in chat box, like how can one venture into the field of AI being from a pharmaceutical background?
What she asked?
Like
How
she has asked.
go in a field from the pharma background? Yeah, I have seen one professor. Her name is Rakhi ma'am. She was our mentor, public health mentor. She was doing her research on the artificial intelligence in pharmaceutical aspect. Okay, how artificial intelligence will manage the time. Okay, so thanks to Sanjana for asking this very interesting question. That AI field, I understand that usually those people having the biological background or the biology background have fear like me with the mathematics. Now I am facing, because my supervisor used to pull my ear and try to keep every day the statistical, the differentiation, the integration. At the end of the day, the software usually give the proper report. You don't have to think about that. Now, if you are trying to connect the pharma background or the medical background with the artificial intelligence, there are so many controversies, because uh, sometimes the AI is 110% correct. Sometimes the AI is not at all correct. So it depends on the situation. Is the first controversial thing. Second thing, the traditional healthcare professionals like my supervisor means the old, not old, uh, like the supervisor of my supervisor, they think that they are the best because they are humanized. They think with their brain, with their eye, with their deep intelligence, right? So you have to bridge the way with the technology. How the technology? You have to do the technological aspect related project, like the nanoparticle nowadays, the nanopharmaceutical, or the artificial intelligence related drug designing, or there is another new aspect in NIPER, the how can I say, pharmacoinformatic. They are using the AI more on the drug designing, drug molecular docking. So you can easily approach those internship area or those professors that, look, I have very interest, I gained some interest to bridge myself, my knowledge with the artificial intelligence. Please help me. How can I approach? So you can easily, by gaining the experiences or the skill set, you can easily proceed further on this particular area. I hope I am a little bit clear.
I
Okay.
guess, yes, so you have covered like every aspect around the questions, and I don't see any more questions right now. So I guess it's time for us to wrap up this exciting session. So firstly, I would really like to extend a heartfelt gratitude to our speaker. Thank you so much, sir, for giving your valuable time and giving us this insightful session. It was really knowledgeable for us. Now, I would also like to thank our wonderful organizing partners, the IEEE CIS Club, and of course, to each one of you who have joined us for this evening and make the session really helpful.
Thank you. Thank you so much for everyone for joining me and tolerating me. If you have any question, you can email me or message me in LinkedIn. I will try to give my best effort to address your inquiries. And all the best. Don't be disappointed. One day, I do believe that you will sit like me and deliver the lecture to other students who are trying to cross India and trying to get the PhD position in abroad. So I wish you all the best. Don't be disappointed. Always be optimistic and always be positive, because positivity is the best part. So all the best. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good night to you all. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, everyone, just hold for a second. The feedback link will be shared. So you can fill out the feedback form and we'll receive the participation certificate based upon that. So apart from it, don't forget to check out the scrmp.com for more updates on such upcoming events and research opportunity and resources. So yeah, till then, stay curious and ambitious.
Last thing, Kritika, thank you so much for organizing this wonderful session. I wish you all the best. And also the other students who are just putting their camera off. No problem. I was like you, but please try to gain as much as possible from the speakers, because these experiences also give you the input to proceed further and getting the PhD position or your dream job or your any position. Be attentive on that. Thank you so much. Bye. I am cutting the phone. Thank you so much. Good night. Good night, everyone.